Get the privilege to be able to share information tonight about our athletics at the high school level. So I'm actually pretty excited to share this with you, and I will be going over this with you. So the very first thing is how many of our girls and boys participate in sports. So in the way this reads is left to right. So if you look at Chico High, you're going to start reading it from left, my left going right. So start with girls. In the 23-24 school year, there was 500 participants that were girls, right? And then in 24-25, 490. So it kind of dropped 10, but I mean, that's a huge number of female athletes. When you go to the boys, still Chico High, 554, and it increased to 590 for the 24-25 school year. And then down below, you'll see PV High School in 23-24. Their girls, there were 460 participants, and then that increased by 30 for the 24-25 school year. And then our boys at PV, there was 594 in the 23-24 school year, and then 24-25 school year, that also increased up to 606. So, what sports are they playing? So in this slide, and I'm going to start off with, it's very small to see, but hopefully on your Chromebooks, you'll be able to see the small little sentence down the bottom, because you will see that small little sentence show up on multiple slides. And so for you and also our public that may have this or might want to know, it says the value is not shown for fewer than 13 respondents. So in this case, yes, there are other sports that our athletes participate in, but they're not going to show. And also, if you don't see a number, there's fewer than 13 respondents in that one. But in this case, you will see, start with the left, again, with our female athletic participation. You'll see that track and field is pretty dominant. And that's just Chico High, and then PV's right next to it. You'll see that as well. So Chico High, 120 females, and then PV, 89. And that's for the 23-24 school year. And of course, if you slide on over to the next column, you have 106 for Chico High, and then 93 for PV. And as you go down, you can see those numbers for that 23 comparison, the 23-24 school year to the 24-25. And then as you go to the right, you'll see the male participation for both Chico High and PV. You will definitely see where those high number of sports are with our young men. Football is big, and in fact, from 23 to 24, from the 23-24 school year to the 24-25 school year, you will see that both schools increased in football participation. So you see that program growing. Then you see track and field, it's pretty stable. And then as you go down, wrestling's pretty stable, baseball's pretty stable, and so on and so forth. Those numbers are pretty similar. So the biggest growth you will see was football at both schools. Any questions with regards to this slide? Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. So every year we are going to be tasked with doing the California Interscholastic Federation Survey, otherwise known as the CIF Survey. If you hear me say CIF, well, this is what I'm referring to. 810 students responded to this survey, 506 from Chico High and 301 from PV High School. And then you break it down. 9th grade students, 392, 10th grade students, 184, and then 11th grade students, 234. Your questions are going to be, hey, why didn't 8th grade 8th grade students take it, and the response to that is, this is a California Interscholastic Federation survey, so it pertains only to high school students. And then your next question would be, hey, why are the seniors not taking it? Well, because there's questions here with regards to what is it that they're like to see at their school site, and they are on their way out. So therefore, you focus on these 3 grades because these are the grades that are being affected by it. And so that's that part. Next slide. Okay. I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because if you look at this, you're going to notice that the percentages do not add up to the numbers. Let's take, and so this is me front loading how to read this slide. So let's take volleyball, and let's look at Chico High, and you are going to notice 14.37. And you go, wait a minute, that's 23 out of 100. That does not equal 23%. Right? That should be, say, 23%, but it doesn't. It says 14.37. So the reason that is, okay, is in certain slides that you are going to see where the percentages do not add up with those numbers. This is the reason why. The 14.37 is with regards to the responses. So there's multiple responses. A student can choose multiple choices here, and the bottom number that you'll see in this case, it's the amount of respondents. So how many students actually took that or answered that question. So I want to make sure that's clear with everyone. What are your questions before I start diving into this? All right. Okay, here we go. All right, so volleyball. In basketball, field hockey, you start seeing these, and it says starting from left to right, these are females from Chico High and PV play the following sports outside of the school. These are all the sports that they play. Some pretty cool ones. You'll see martial arts. You see way down there, you'll see lacrosse. You'll see rugby, you see gymnastics, and then track and field. So these are, once again, sports that our students play outside of school. On the male side, you'll see some of them play soccer, and these, of course, are all club teams. Baseball, lacrosse, martial arts, golf, wrestling, boxing. I was kind of like, wow, let's bring back boxing. No. Not a good idea. Football, swimming, volleyball, rugby, mountain biking. So, and of course, there's mountain biking going on around Chico all the time. It's a great place to mountain bike. So I can see that as being of interest. Next slide. Here, you will notice that the number of respondents does line up with the percentages, and that is because they only chose one. Right? So from here, females from Chico High and PV would like to try the following sports. That means they're currently not playing these sports, but they would like to try these sports. And you will see that up there, you'll see volleyball, track and field, tennis, and I'm once again reading from left to right. I'll always be reading from left to right. It's just easier for me. So, skiing, snowboarding, cheerleading, field hockey, basketball, so on and so forth. And then that was just strictly PV. And then you see Chico High. And what you will notice is Chico High and PV, they start to mirror each other, right? Which is kind of interesting. Now, you go to the male side, right? On the right, males from Chico High and PV would like to try the following sports. Once again, track and field is huge. Basketball is huge. Golf is huge. And same thing for Chico High as we roll down. Now, at this point, you're going to say, hey, what about these other sports that we see in these other slides? Because I'm sure the school board members have already looked ahead. And so what I do want to stress with the public and our school board is that these sports are currently offered in our high schools. And that is all they are, is sports that are currently offered in our high schools. Any questions with regards to this slide?